let's talk a little bit more about testing.
Absolutely.
We've heard that there are some pitfalls and limitations with what's actually currently available to test whether or not someone's under the influence of cannabis. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I can. And I mean, I'll preface this by I'm not a scientist, but there are a lot of challenges with testing for cannabis. And you're seeing a lot of that in the news today. I think the federal government's struggling with that. Police departments are struggling with that. And that's really why conducting these investigations before you go the testing route is very important as well, because there are going to be times where you may decide, okay, I don't need to test this employee because maybe they've admitted that they smoked a joint that morning, or maybe it's so obvious because of the way that they smell and all these other indicators. But the key is you don't want to be in a situation where you're relying solely on a test to say this employee is under the influence, because testing technologies, I think, are improving, but the biggest pitfall for marijuana testing historically has been that it doesn't detect present impairment. And that's in part because there isn't a bright line figure of, okay, if you're reading at X level versus Y level, does that mean you are or you aren't impaired? A lot of what the readings will show, or what they've historically shown, is that marijuana is being used at some point in the last couple of weeks. The newer testing devices, the saliva swab devices or the oral testing devices, like what police departments are starting to roll out, they're focused on more recent use, sort of use in the last, I think, probably 8 to 24 hours typically, but it is still difficult. A positive drug test does not mean that an employee is impaired. And with that in mind, the advice that we give to our clients is that the focus isn't on, are you impaired, yes or no? It's, is there a risk here to safety in the workplace? And your focus is on mitigating those risks.
Yeah, absolutely.